In ancient China, there was a wise monk named Chu who lived in a secluded monastery deep in the mountains. He was known for his exceptional wisdom and his ability to answer any question that was posed to him. One day, a group of arrogant teachers from a nearby village came to the monastery, hoping to prove their intellectual superiority to the monk. They challenged him with a series of complex questions, hoping to stump him. The monk listened to their questions patiently and then replied, "I do not know the answers to your questions." The teachers were taken aback and asked the monk how he could call himself wise if he did not know the answers to their questions. The monk replied, "True wisdom lies not in knowing the answers to everything, but in knowing that there are things we do not know. The wise person is one who is always seeking knowledge and learning from their experiences." The teachers were impressed by the monk's words and asked him to teach them more about wisdom. The monk agreed and began to tell them a story. There was once a powerful emperor who ruled over a vast kingdom. He was known for his wealth, his armies, and his conquests. But despite all his power, he was not happy. He felt as if something was missing from his life. One day, the emperor heard about a wise, happy monk who lived in a monastery deep in the mountains. He decided to visit the monk and ask him for advice on how to find happiness. The emperor traveled for many days and finally arrived at the monastery. He met the monk and asked him, "What is the secret to your happiness?" The monk looked at the emperor and said, "The secret to happiness is to find the pearl of great price." The emperor was confused by the monk's words and asked him to explain. The monk replied, "The pearl of great price is the treasure that lies within each of us. It is the essence of our being, the source of our happiness and our joy. But finding the pearl of great price is not easy. It requires us to let go of our attachment to material possessions, to our ego, and to our fears. Only then can we discover the true treasure that lies within us." The emperor was intrigued by the monk's words and asked him how he could find the pearl of great price. The monk replied, "The path to the pearl of great price is a long and difficult one. It requires us to face our fears, to overcome our weaknesses, and to cultivate the virtues of compassion, wisdom, and courage. But if you are willing to embark on this path, you will find the treasure that you seek." The emperor was moved by the monk's words and decided to embark on the path to the pearl of great price. He spent many years studying with the monk, meditating, and practicing the virtues of compassion, wisdom, and courage. One day, as the emperor was meditating in a quiet garden, a young boy approached him and asked, "How did you become so happy and wise?" The emperor smiled and replied, "Yes, I'm a happy person and not yet wise, but I am on a journey towards wisdom. I have learned that true wisdom is not just about intellectual knowledge, but also about living a fulfilling and meaningful life. It is about finding the pearl of great price within ourselves." The boy was fascinated by the emperor's words and asked him to teach him more about wisdom. The emperor agreed and began to tell him a story. There was once a wise sage who lived in a small village. He was known for his exceptional knowledge and his ability to answer any question that was posed to him. To the sage and asked him, "What is the secret to happiness?" The sage looked at the man and said, "The secret to happiness is to let go of the things that do not matter and focus on the things that bring you joy." The boy was confused by the sage's words and asked him to explain. The sage replied, "Imagine that you are holding a cup of hot tea. If you hold on to the cup for too long, it will burn your hand. But if you let go of the cup, the tea will remain hot, but you will no longer feel the pain." The same is true for life. If we hold on to things that do not matter, they will only cause us pain. But if we let go of them, we can focus on the things that bring us joy. The boy was amazed by the sage's words and realized that he had been holding on to many things that were causing him pain. He decided to let go of them and focus on the things that brought him joy. The boy was very happy spending time with the emperor and rushed back home to share his experience with the emperor to his parents. As the emperor continued on his journey, he encountered many challenges and obstacles. But with the monk's guidance, he was able to overcome them and continue on his path towards the pearl of great price. Years passed, and the emperor grew old. On his deathbed, he called for the monk to come to him. The monk came, and the emperor said to him, "I have lived a long and fulfilling life, thanks to your teachings. But I still feel as if there is something I have not yet discovered." "What is the pearl of great price?" The monk smiled and said, "The pearl of great price is not something you can discover in a day, a year, or even a lifetime. It is a treasure that is always unfolding, always revealing new depths and dimensions. The pearl of great price is the essence of your being, the source of your happiness and your joy. It is the ultimate treasure, and it is always with you." The teachers listened to the monk's story and were deeply moved by its message. They realized that true wisdom was not just about intellectual knowledge, but also about living a fulfilling and meaningful life. And as they were about to leave, the monk said to them, "Remember these. If you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, educate people." A good teacher is a master of simplification, and an enemy of simplism. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. A good teacher is like a good entertainer. First he must hold his audience's attention, then he can teach his lesson. The greatest sign of success for a teacher is to be able to say, "The children are now working as if I did not exist." Teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. The mediocre teacher tells. The good teacher explains. The superior teacher demonstrates. The great teacher inspires. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. A good teacher is like a good wine, it gets better with age.